So here we are on a misty Monday morning in Wales with the Civic. Very nice. Everyone's rushing off to their office jobs and I am on a job down in the countryside. So yeah, nothing massive to report as you'd expect. World's least interesting videos. Honda Civic running reports, nothing happens. The car's just blissfully reliable. Had it in France, I've had it in Germany since the last video. It's been all over. It's coming up for some tyres. We'll have a look at that in a second. Just picked up a couple of more dents. I've got a little dent here. Slightly annoying. But anyway, 156,000 miles now. And just gets used and not really abused, but used, definitely used. And yeah, still flying along, really comfortable. Just had a bulb go out last night, which I need to change today sometime. Oh, I've got a right bang in there, isn't it? Didn't notice that before. Anyway, yeah, so the Michelins that I put on at 120,000 have now started getting close to the wear bar. You see there's a bit of wear on the inside edge. Most of my miles are off motorway, I would say, 50% at least on roads like this. These kind of country roads, so not too bothered about it. 35,000 miles, it was 175 quid I think for the front tires. And I think the way they grip and the way that the steering is, they are absolutely a bargain. And I will just put the same tyres on again. The Bridgestones I was running before, see the wear bar there? Bridgestones I was running before were just wandery. And I still have them on the back. And, no, not Bridgestones, what am I talking about? The first Bridgestones that were on the car, they were bloody awful. So I got rid of those, put some good gears on. And yeah, great wear. Like these have been on forever. And still great. But yeah, so I've got a slow puncture in this rear. Which just gets topped up every couple of weeks or something. And the deflation warning system on the Civic just picks that up. And then I've got, yeah, I'm down to the wear bars on that near side front, and I'm just over them on the offside front. So I think I'm just going to buy a set of Michelins and put them on. Yeah, I've got a headlight out. This one is out. I've changed this a couple of times this year. No, I've changed both headlight bulbs earlier in the year. This one has gone out. Can't remember what type of bulb it is. I have a feeling that it was a Philips. So not cheap. Well, not the cheapest. I've still got this broken fog light here, which I haven't done anything about. Honestly, just been too busy. Just busy. That's good. Yeah, still got my stone chips. The bonnet, that was a bloody big one, wasn't it? And I just did a paint depth reading on the bonnet, and it looks like it's been painted once already. So I think painting the bonnet and the bumper would give it a lift, but it just gets worked. And now it's getting up for 160,000 miles. If I spent 500 or 600 quid on doing the paint, doing bits of paint, and I could potentially have a paintless dent guy. Look at those two dents, and then there's one on the door on this near side. So I could have, there's one there, which I have had for ages. So I could have those three done. But really, I think it's only really me who notices them. When the car is washed, it cleans up a trait. And still really love it. The other thing that we still degrading slightly is the inside of the driver's seat. So I think at some stage this is starting to feel thin now. Just has the feeling of thinness, and you can see that is now picking up. It's very, you can feel it, just an edge there. There's an edge that says the seat is wearing to me. So I could get a trimmer to just change this panel. I'll keep my eyes out for a decent seat, tidier seat. But I mean, a trimmer to do that, it wouldn't charge me a fortune. Maybe 100 quid at the worst. So other than that, yeah, she just goes along grand. Put a little camera mount on the dash. I'm perilously close to a couple of speeding tickets, and this is just so far out of date now, just absolute waste of time. So I put in a dash mount, and I'm just using Waze on the iPhone all the time. I keep seeing ads for these widescreen Apple CarPlay add-ons, and I'm tempted to have a go at one of those, but Waze is not too bad. Definitely comes up with camera warnings, and it definitely comes up with good routes. Not too bad. It's a good piece of software. I could just do with a bigger screen, because obviously even using an iPhone Pro Max, it's still not the biggest screen. You could do with something bigger. So yeah. But they're my only gripes. Still doing something like 60 odd mpg, even the way I drive it, and that's not bad, can't complain. 156,000 miles, soon be at 160, and yeah, soon have some new tyres. Definitely be doing those before winter proper. And these still have life in them, but you go, well, slow puncture on one side, which I could, I suppose, have fixed. And they just don't seem to have worn since I bloody fitted the Michelins. But still, I'd rather have the Michelins, even with the wear. Yeah, the other thing I did, and I did video it, but I haven't posted it, I did do the front brakes, disc pads. And I used, what were they? Can't remember the brand. I wonder, was it Borg & Beck? But you can see how clean they are still. I mean, they've been on the car since June, I think, and it's now September. So not even a hint of rust. And these have been on there a bit longer, but you can see they have definitely picked up some corrosion. And the discs themselves, not the worst, but they're not the best. Honda rear calipers are dicey at the best of times. Right, so the Civic is going to France tomorrow, so I think I'm probably at the end of my brakes, so we are going to change the brakes, front brake discs and brake pads on the Civic Diesel Tourer. We're using Borg & Beck. The discs are coated so they shouldn't rust, and they should just look nice for a while. Let's get on with it. Okay, so our wheels off. There's a little bit of a lip on the discs, but they're not too bad. They could go all the way to France easy enough. But I have the bits, so let's change them. I've been sitting on them for 3 years. I'm kind of keen to get these off now. So it'll be take off these 2 screws, drop the caliper off, and then the whole thing will come apart. So caliper will swing off, then this disc will come off, and then it's just a case of putting it all back together. Okay, so ultimately this is where you'll get up to. You'll have the disc off, you'll have the caliper carrier off. That comes off with 2 17s. You will have the pad pulled out of this caliper piston, and you'll be ready to start cleaning stuff up and putting it all back together. I prefer to take the caliper separately off the caliper carrier because the whole thing weighs too much, and it's really a pain in the arse to move it around if you don't do that. So, but anyway, everything came off nice and easy. You can see this is definitely ready for a change. So good. Okay, that's it. There you have it. This spring is always a joy to put back on. I just gave the little caliper sliders a tiny bit of copperies, clean the whole up with this. I'll just put a little bit of copperies on this now, just to stop the wheel getting stuck when I take it off. The tyre, it's a good opportunity to look at your tyres. My Michelin's have been on for a while. You can see there's a tiny bit of wear on the inner edge. I don't think it's tracking is bang on. I think I just drive it pretty hard. There's some marks on the outside where obviously I've clipped, you know, potholes and bits and pieces. So I think I'll make a little appointment with myself to change these in about October maybe. Taking a look at the pads that came off. These are the insides. You can see the wear indicator hasn't quite hit home yet, but the backing material is starting to come off or the friction material is coming off the pad. And these were the outers, same thing. Friction material is starting to give up, but they are really thin, so I don't mind that. Every little helps. What an office. Monday morning, this is your office. That's not a bad thing. So, yeah, I mean, at 160,000 nearly, not even thinking about, you know, you think about what do you replace it with, who do you replace it with? You think, well, if it's doing this well, if it's doing this good at 160,000, just don't replace it. Just keep going. 200, 220. I'm nearly at 100,000 miles in this car now. Another, I think I bought it around 65,000, just under 70,000. So another 10,000 miles or so. So another oil change, and I'll be at 100,000 miles. And I've never done 100,000 miles in a car before. One car. Never. And yeah, what an absolutely fabulous car. So yeah, buy them while you still can get them. Mine's an SR, has the leather. That's it. That's really what you want. You just want the leather trim. And the 17s are nice. It does make them £10 a year more expensive, but £30 a year road tax. Super comfortable seats. I mean, they're just super comfortable. I suppose the only thing you'd replace it with would be something that's absolutely identical, but lower mileage. And for that in the UK currently, you'd probably pay 9 grand, 8 grand, 9 grand, probably closer to 10 from a proper dealer. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they're worth 10 grand, but maybe they are. I mean, I was looking at CRVs last week, and I'm not saying I would get a CRV, but looking at CRVs last week, they're still doing teens, 13, 14 with this engine, but they're Euro 6. So if that matters, it doesn't matter to me, but if that matters, then obviously you take that into account. These are Euro 5, while the CRV's Euro 6. I also got a Crit Air, so you apply for these online there. They allow you to get into French low emission zones. Rouen is needs a Crit Air, and yeah, I drove through Rouen and then obviously realised I needed to get a sticker. Got it when I came home. Haven't heard anything from the French, so that's good.